All right, family. So we're going to jump in here. Excuse me. What I'm going to do in this video is a brief recap of some of the price action that took place today. But really, the reason I'm doing this video is I want to give you guys a little bit of an insight into how I kind of personally go about, doing my prep on the weekend, in the morning, the night before the market opens. And not that you guys got to necessarily do your prep the same way, but just to kind of see the way I go about it, it might give you an idea of just kind of some of the things you do want to focus on when you're trying to prepare for the next session. So to do a quick recap of today, guys, good looking bounce for the SPY out the gate after shaking off an ugly start. And here's what was interesting. All right, take a look right there. So we got Friday's low right here. And if we take a look at the hourly chart, early on in the session, right out the gate, we're dropping below Friday's low. So that was kind of like, hold on, let's see how things go here. We know that the VIX was above 16 this morning. We know we had some sloppiness pre-market, and then here we go out the gate, dropping below Friday's low. So we wanted to be patient here at the open. Chandler and I are working with the guys and the girls in the TDG, and that's exactly what we did. We sat back for a few minutes, and very quickly here, guys, the big picture showed us something that was key and set the tone for the rest of the day and set the tone for all these individual stocks that we're looking at. What happened here was very quickly, we get a bounce and we quickly remount back above Friday's low. So that's a key level of support as we begin a new week. To begin breaking down past Friday's low can really be a shift of momentum. So we quickly get back above Friday's low. That's an important shift right there. And then more importantly, anytime you're looking for a bounce, guys, this is going to be one of the best indicators of whether or not the market is truly going to bounce, is what happens in the volatility index. Right out the gate, we're opening up here 16, pushing 1650, but very quickly what happens? The VIX falls back below 16 and begins to fade all the way towards 15. We know, guys, from the past few months that when the market opens up a little bit sketchy, but quickly the volatility index over here is dumping back below 16, back towards 15, that usually sets up for a good bounce. And what did this lead to? The SPY getting back above Friday's low, the VIX here dropping back below 16. That led to many of the individual names making good looking moves. We had Amazon, which, man, I desperately wanted to trade this thing today, guys. Beautiful clean breakout above 2100. It never looks back. It runs right to its ATR up here around 2120. Then it consolidates for a bit, and then it makes a nice move. So we'll see if we can hang under this resistance level after hours and then play that for a breakout tomorrow. But that's a super clean move, guys, and it had everything lined up for it. Clean move with big volume above the key breakout level, confirmed by the tape. That's the key right there. Buyers were coming in. The bid kept lifting above 2100, 21, yada, yada, yada. Kept lifting, and the market was making a bounce. That leads to a beautiful trade right to ATR. Then it gets a little bit, choppy, continues there. But that was a beautiful trade, guys. Options are going 50 to 100% on that. Good looking move. We'll see how this thing goes tomorrow. But Amazon's starting to heat up. So make sure that's a name on your focus list, guys. Make sure you're not losing sight of Amazon. Now, we know NVIDIA had upgrade news this morning. Came into the session with an upgrade. And what do we get? When the market bounces, we get a super clean breakout above that key 255 level. Runs right up here, guys, to that 259.50-ish resistance level. Plows through that and has itself a big day. Now, NVIDIA's got earnings this week, so I'd avoid this until earnings are over. This could have been, a combination of longs coming in, maybe some shorts covering ahead of earnings. It's not really, a way for us to tell, but nonetheless, beautiful breakout move there today. And that never looked back. So Amazon was beautiful, NVIDIA was beautiful. And then Google here, guys, ran right to that key 1500 level and then made the breakout. So Amazon, Apple, Google, Netflix, a handful of names are making good moves today, guys, and that could set us up for a handful of awesome opportunities tomorrow. So make sure you get your ass in the live stream tomorrow morning. But we got the breakout above 15. What we're looking for now, and we talked about this in one of the live streams today, is now we want to see what was once resistance right here at 1500. We want to see this turn into support. So on any kind of dip, any kind of drop here after hours, we're looking for this thing to hold above 1500. that's a key level of support moving forward. We want to see if that holds up. And then for Netflix tomorrow, guys, let's see if this thing can heat up again. ATR right now for this thing is $10. That could easily bring us upwards of 380 tomorrow. So we've got key resistance right here around 375. That's going to be the move to look for tomorrow. Can we break that 375 level? If we can, she's got another $3, $4, $5 in her based upon the average move right now. And these are all setups we're going to break down, guys, during our morning live stream. But as far as kind of, doing some prep for the day before, what we're going to focus on in this video, guys, is a bit more of just kind of, what we can call chart prep. Identifying key levels of support, identifying key levels of resistance that you're going to take trades based around, that you want to be mindful of for the following day. So for me personally, even if I'm looking at a 15-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, an hourly chart, I like to take the big levels from the daily chart. So levels of support, levels of resistance on the daily chart, those are the levels I tend to focus on most. So we got a chart here of the SPY, 15-period SMA, 50-period SMA, and then the 200 all the way down there. And now real quick, guys, here's how I go about identifying key levels I want to focus on. Obviously, we got an all-time high here today. So we closed at an all-time high of 334.70, let's call it. We're going to have to break that level, to make a move tomorrow. We're going to have to make a brand new all-time high. So that is the resistance heading into tomorrow, 334.71. So I want to have that marked on my chart. That way, when I'm looking at the after-hours price action as we lead into the open tomorrow, I can see where we are in the intraday charts in relation to that important level of resistance. So we got that marked up. Now for me, guys, I'm going to be paying attention to the support level here from the morning that we gapped up last Wednesday, with that exact level being 380.70, we can call it. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to be watching that level, 330.70, excuse me. I'll make that white for a support line. And I want to watch this, guys, because if we do begin to see weakness and we kind of reject these highs up here, we could begin to kind of fill that gap on the daily chart. And that could lead to a nice little drop there. So that's an important level of support. Now, I also, on the intraday charts, I want to be able to see where that 15 MA is from the daily. So I'm going to color code that to green. And hell, we're even going to put the 50 down here. All right, and now I don't need the moving averages anymore. Right now I can get everything off the charts, guys. So we load up the clean here. Don't want to delete it, no. All right. Right now I've got everything of relevance to me personally, right? Levels that I would make trade decisions based around marked up on my chart. Now I don't need moving averages. I don't need any kind of clutter around here. I've got my resistance, my next breakout level at the all-time high. I've got what I think is a key level of support, not only at Friday's low, which, we almost broke there this morning, but also that gap low. And then I got my 15 MA and I've got my 50 SMA. And what I can do with this, guys, right, is I can go to the daily chart. And now I've got all my important levels and I know what they are, right? I know that's last Friday's low. I know that's the low from Wednesday's gap up. There's my 15 SMA. There's my 50. Now as the market begins to move after hours, as tomorrow's session opens up, I can look at an intraday chart like a 1 hour. I could even look at something like a 15-minute chart. And knowing where those important levels are and being able to see them, visually right in front of me, it just helps me make better trade decisions, guys. As we look at a lower time frame, there can be a lot of noise, but when you've identified an important level of support or resistance from a bigger picture time frame, like a 4-hour chart or a daily chart, it's going to help you kind of decipher a lot of the noise in these lower time frames. So that's what I'll be looking for tomorrow in the SPY. And now real quick, let's just run through a few different names that we're going to do the same thing for here. So let's go to Netflix. Let's load back up our 15 and our 50. Let's remove all these prior drawings. All right, now let's take a look at this thing. So we got our 15 SMA down here. So I want to be mindful of that. All right, we got all this daily support right around here. You can see 1, 2, 3, and even a fourth time here today. We're bouncing off this level. So this was the ugliest candle. The low of that is 362.30. So let's go mark 362.20. Right. few cents below. Let's go mark that, guys, as one potential important support level right now. So we got the support level, we got the 15. Now, the 50 is way down here. Do we need to worry about the 50 right now? Netflix here is a good distance above that. And then let me get rid of the squeeze because I do not need that either. There we go. All right, so we got support, we got 15, we got the 50, and now, guys, we've got this key resistance level up here. So the high from this day, right? We ran 1, 2, 3 days in a row. You get rejected. So the high from that session was 375.25. So we're going to go up there and we're going to drop in our next breakout level, which is going to have to be above that candle at 375.25. So now we can clean up the chart. Get rid of all the noise, right? We don't need the moving averages. We don't need any of that anymore. And now we can go to our intraday chart. And there we go, right? We can clearly see the big support from the daily time frame. We got our 15 all the way down here. And then there's our 50. And then, hey, we got that next breakout level. So here's what's cool, right? We're on an hourly chart. There's our bigger picture resistance. There's our bigger picture support. It's going to be a lot of noise inside of this range, guys. You can play bounces, you can play rejections, but the real big move coming up next for Netflix here is either going to be the real breakout or the real breakdown. So be careful not to get caught up in too much of that noise. You want to wait till we can break that consolidation, and then the buyers or the sellers take control. That's going to be the ideal trade there. So now that we take those levels from the daily chart, we can easily see this on the hourly that, hey, we're kind of stuck right now. Here's our key support, here's our key resistance. After hours, where are we trading in relation to those levels? Then once the market opens up tomorrow, guys, you got a good feel of exactly where you're looking to place trades. So let's do one more here. And how about we do, let me think. Nvidia's got earnings, we're not going to do them. Tesla's too crazy, we did Netflix. How about, guys, we here do Apple? How about that? All right, do I want to do Apple? To be honest, Apple's a bit sloppy right now. So think here. Let's do Google. So let's clean everything up. Let's pull up our daily chart. We're going to get our moving averages back out here just for a second. Here we go. All right, guys. So we've got our 15 right there. So let's go mark these up real quick. We got our 15. We've got our 50 all the way down here. All right, and now we got today's high, which, we're going to have to break above to see any kind of upside move tomorrow. It goes without saying. So today's high is 1508.88. We're going to call that 1508.90. And here we go, guys, is our next breakout level. So Google is looking relatively strong right now. And if we look at the daily chart, out of the last few sessions here, we got, 3 days of above average buying volume coming in. So I like this, guys. It is hanging around the 15 MA, right? Just hanging back and forth, back and forth. And now that we've kind of cleared that resistance level today, making that nice move above 1500, we should be expecting this strength to continue. So now that we've got our key levels, we're going to clean up the chart. And here we go. We got our 15, we got our 50. Here's our key breakout level we're looking to take plays on tomorrow. We've got some after hours earnings resistance up here all the way at 1525. And we'll see how tomorrow goes. Now, this breakout level right here, guys, you want to look for that to hold the support after hours. If not, that 1500 level is definitely one we want to watch as well. So there's another intraday level of support you can keep an eye on. Do this for all the different names, guys. Now, you might find different levels of more importance than I do. It's not so much about doing it exactly like I do, but more so just doing it. Putting, in this little bit of effort, put inside a little bit of time every night, every morning to do this kind of preparation. Once you've kind of mapped things out like this, this allows you guys to go and kind of, mentally visualize taking those trades. I'm having account issues here this week, so I'm not going to be able to trade till Wednesday. I was thinking about this clean breakout all weekend. Now, it's a bummer that I missed it, but the more you begin to kind of break down your charts, identify where you want to go long, where would you go short, what do you need to see from the overall market to get your confirmation? What are the key levels for the market itself? What's the volatility index doing? Is the stock you're looking at getting options flow in your favor? Is there big volume? Right? Is the tape confirming your trade? Once all of these things come together, guys, that's when you can create a lot of consistency. So good work today, guys. As usual, it's a handful of you kicking ass. Hope to see you guys all tomorrow in the chat and for the live trading session. Until then, guys, have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon.